Yo, what's up?
Hey man, I think I just invited you as a co-host. Did that work?
Um, did not get an invite for it. So, yeah, what's up,
I'll try
JC?
again. Oh, I see. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Now I gotcha.
Yeah, I got it now. Let's pass that on to JC and then Jovan when he
I
hops on.
did. Yes, I invited Mr. Jace. Looks like he's in now as well.
Hello.
Yo, how you doing today?
It's early in the morning in our side of the world, around 7:30 a.m.
It is early.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
How about you guys? How about
Yeah,
I mean, it's good here. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, it's 4:30 p.m. here, and
okay.
sun's still up. Yeah, it's windy out here. It's in California.
Oh, you guys are in West Coast, okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're both actually in the same city in the West Coast.
yep. West Coast, Best Coast.
That's awesome, man.
Do you prefer to be called Mr. Jace? Like, is that how you want to be referred to on the podcast today?
Yeah, should be good. JC's also
Okay.
fine as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can you try to send an invite to Jovan? Yeah, Jovan.
Yeah, well,
I posted in our Telegram as well.
He Yeah, he texted me saying that how he can join. So hopefully we can have him on in just a bit.
it should just
Okay, sounds good.
it should just be right there actually, right? It just pops up on your feed.
Yep, it's really
Yeah, if as long as he's following us, then it should.
you know what? I think he's actually having the same issue you had, Chad. I think he's on his Mac.
Oh, dude, yes. See if he can download the app and join through that. Actually, we had this same issue like on the last one we did where I tried to join on my computer and then I didn't show up for some reason.
Here he is, I think.
Oh, I see. Oh, is this him? Okay.
All right, I'll just let him know to download the app, and I told him to try mobile. Let's see if that works on Android as well.
Yeah, I think he's here.
Did he join via the BreederDAO account?
No, he's joining through his personal account.
Oh, okay. Juan, I will add him as a speaker when he joins because I can only add 2 co-hosts.
Yeah, sounds good. Once he joins, we can get started. Really excited to talk to y'all both today, Jace. Think like what BreederDAO is doing is super unique and goes to show how innovative the space is. How innovative you both are.
Definitely, we're very bullish on this project, and we have a good team on our hands, so we're ready to service the need of
I saw
everyone.
you had your first AMA today as well.
Yeah, we did. Just around 8 hours ago, actually.
Nice.
All right.
I'm excited to listen to that.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a transcription and like a live recording of that will be posted on their Discord channel soon. But yeah, if you guys need some details on the full details on the AMA, we'll be posting it there, and yeah, should be good.
Nice. Yeah, excited to see that. I just invited him to be a speaker. Once he joins, we can get started.
Oh, he's here. He's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, Jovan.
Yeah, what's up, Jovan?
Oh, I think your mic just got muted.
Hello?
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
There
Sorry
he
for the
is.
tech
There you
mishap.
go.
Yeah. All right. Great to be here today.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yes, great to have
All right.
you.
How are
Juan, you want to kick us off, and then I'll kick us off.
Yeah, of course. So today we're going to be talking to BreederDAO, which they are a go-to asset production factory for gaming assets of the metaverse. They generate quality assets that deliver the best value at scale for play-to-earn games. And today we're joined with Mr. Jace and Overly Bearish, both Mr. Jace being the associate of Growth and Overly Bullish, sorry, not bearish, head of Growth at BreederDAO. And also our CEO, Chad Kim, and we're going to be discussing a lot more about what BreederDAO does and how they're helping guilds in the space innovate and move forward.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, Juan. This is super great. Yeah, so I gotta admit something right off the bat that I'm a little embarrassed about. But when I first saw BreederDAO and I was looking at the site, I thought it was like some sort of like asset production company or something like that, where you were like helping Axie and Krabata and whatnot like actually design the assets or the NFTs like at scale. And then I was like, I don't know, but I want to get on a call with them because whatever it is, it seems like more interesting than that. And then when I got on the call and found out that you guys like breed assets at scale, like breeding for Axie, and I that clicked. I was just like blown away because I asked my manager like, "Hey, how long would it take you to breed these assets like on your own?" Because we needed like 150 teams, worth of. So what is that, like 450 Axies? I was like, how long would it take you to breed this on your own? And he was like, probably like a month or more, and like 100 hours or something. And then I asked you guys like, how long is it gonna take you? And you were like 7 days. And then we didn't have to do anything, and I was just like totally blown away. So that was like my at least my second impression of you guys, and so I'm super excited just to hear like how you guys got into that, and maybe Jovan, we can start with you. Just like how did you start BreederDAO? Like how did you see the need?
Just for clarification, I'm not a co-founder of BreederDAO. I actually just joined them last February. So I started out my career in Web2 transformation. So I used to be part of an e-commerce startup back when the industry's penetration rate was merely at 1% here in the Philippines. So then I moved to digital transformation in the financial services. But I was already invested in crypto since 2016 until one day Jeff, our COO, reached out to me, and it was basically love at first sight. I love the team. I love the vision. So it was pretty much a no-brainer for me to join them. Breeder DAO is neither a guild nor a game developer. We are an asset. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Anything can be a guild these days, so you never know.
I know, right? And we are basically an asset factory for blockchain games. So we provide high volume asset production tailored to the specifications of our guild partners. As you've mentioned, right, we are much more affordable compared to purchasing wholesale from the marketplace, because typically when you purchase teams in bulk from the marketplace, you tend to buy up the liquidity, thereby driving the market prices higher, right? And we are also way faster compared to breeding the assets yourselves, right? So as you've mentioned, it usually takes around 4 to 6 weeks if you were to do it yourselves. With BreederDAO, we can do it in a week or less. It usually takes Breeding usually takes extensive operations, right? And we do understand that most of the guilds neither have the capacity nor the priority to do so. So that's not to mention the inevitable unwanted mutations that occur in breeding assets like Axie. In fact, not many people know this, but 7 out of 10 bred Axies will experience at least one mutation in their recessive genes. So here in BreederDAO, the assets we deliver are always 100% up to your specifications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fantastic explanation of what you guys do. When you said like love at first sight, like why did you fall in love with it right away? Yeah.
It was definitely a gap that was needed to be filled. And most importantly, when I saw the team profile, everyone's just a genius in their own way, right? So they're all unicorns. So it's great to be part of the team. It's great to be working with guilds such as yourselves. Everyone's very passionate about what they do. It's just exciting overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what you were saying earlier about just the ease, basically the lack of resources that guilds have in terms of like the managers and the team to like actually personally breed these is it's a huge challenge to find the right people right now, as like the industry is still pretty small and growing. So like saving managers time at this scale is massive. And avoiding, like you said, avoiding like raising the prices in the marketplace, that's also huge. Because yeah, we would go in there and buy like 100 teams, and we try to spread it out to get the best price like every day, and it's pretty obnoxious to have to do that manually. So what are your main games right now that you guys are
Main
working on?
game. Basically, obviously we're in Axie, so we're looking forward to Axie V3 Origins. We are very bullish and excited for it to go live, hopefully by month's end. In fact, some of our guild partners had already ordered Axie teams in preparation for V3. However, BreederDAO still cannot recommend any specific team builds until the new meta is released. So this isn't a financial advice anyway, right? We are also invested in Pegaxi. I'm pretty stoked about meeting the founder, Cory, by end of month, as they will be having a Pegaxi meetup here in Manila. Cyball is something to look forward to. We have our farms ready to go live to serve you guys once the mentoring is up. So let's watch this space. We also have Krabada. It's a game that we've been operating in since November of last year, but we don't usually push this to the guild partners as the capex for each crab is pretty expensive, nor can guilds like yourselves lend the crab to your scholars without handing over your seed phrase. So I do understand that there may be third-party services that will fill this gap, and we are on the lookout for a reliable solution to make this happen. We also have a whole other list of games that we are invested in, but unfortunately, we still cannot disclose this as of this moment.
Well, I gotta say, definitely super interested to hear like how are you preparing for Axie Origin, and why are you bullish about it? Like, I know it's a little bit off topic to you guys, but you guys are so influential in the space and a huge provider for guilds. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, Axie was the game that started it all, right? So that being said, their team definitely had a lot of learnings from their previous release, and a lot of our guild partners are always on the lookout for Axie as well. They're still heavily invested in Axie. Even the scholars themselves are looking forward to the new meta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having that energy all around the ecosystem only shows that the community is looking forward to it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How are guilds thinking about pre-ordering teams? Like, isn't there a fear that the meta will shift? Like, how do you know what to invest in at this point?
Oh, definitely, 100% on point. That's why even though we have our in-house team of game analysts and data experts, we still cannot recommend the best team builds, right? Until such time that the meta is released. So it's purely speculative, I guess, for the rest of the guilds out there that had already done their pre-orders. So let's see. There's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, you mentioned you have your like in-house analysts and stuff, and I think I saw, man, I don't remember exactly who posted it. I think it was the last couple of days, but a chart on Axie combinations and their total battles, win rate, and average SLP earned per battle. Do you know the chart I'm referring to?
There are a lot of charts flying around right now. So
It's one
I'm
you
not right.
guys made, but it's just super awesome. It just kind of showcases the data that you have internally on different Axie combinations and their effectiveness. I think it was on your guys' Twitter, actually.
Oh yeah, right. So this chart that you're talking about is basically a result of our proprietary tools and systems that we use in-house. So we make sure that our team recommendations are top notch, thereby ensuring the best bang for buck for our guild partners. Because of course, the meta would change regularly, sometimes even daily. So so our in-house gaming experts are always on top of it, right? We make sure that all of our team builds are up to date, increasing the success chance for our guild partners.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking to you guys and you were suggesting like versatile teams and you were super in the know on the current meta of Axie. I thought that was like, I thought it was really important for your like credibility when we were talking to you that you were so in the know on these games. And I think that's just a really important part of your operation that gave us confidence to work with you guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the main goal of BreederDAO is to become the hub of the play to earn industry, right? So what that means is we wish to share our insights and our knowledge to both guilds and games to better themselves, to better the industry.
Mm, mm. Yeah, so the hub of play to earn games, like that sounds like a massive vision. It sounds like a vision that a couple other guilds are pursuing, although I know you're not a guild, you're a DAO. But can you explain like what are the core components of that hub that you think the industry needs?
Well, first and foremost, we're able to create supply and provide them to guild partners such as yourselves. We will also we also provide our expert recommendations in terms of in terms of team builds for your scholars for your scholars. And we are also looking at a marketplace on an OTC sales channel down the line where both guilds and retail players can purchase their game tickets from. Uh, we also partner with many different games where we do our early investments with, and we also collaborate with them, making sure that we provide feedback into how to better their in-game economies. So basically, we want to be top of mind. When you say P2E, BreederDAO will always be there. We will always be relevant to help you guys out.
That's awesome, man. One of my like, I don't know if fear is the right word, but something I'm a little bit afraid of, like moving into like later this year and next year, is the flood of new games, and really how to absorb those games into our guild. And to do that, you know, we need to stay on top of the meta, the best teams, the strategies, and like building out a team internally is something I'm starting to think about long term, and how do we build the internal talent to learn a new game quickly. But it sounds like this hub that you guys are describing is going to help with that a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to that personally.
Oh yeah, definitely can. That's why we're here, right? We can always recommend and provide insights to not only your team builds, but also to games, right? What we think of them, where which games we're bullish on, and whatnot.
Well, let me ask like at least one more question about the utility of your token, and then I think we'll dive into some questions from the audience. So just kind of letting the audience know that they can start thinking of any questions they have. And from you, Jovan, yeah, let's hear about your upcoming token, Breed.
Got it. So as our CEO mentioned during our AMA last night, our white paper will be out within 48 hours. So the full technical details of our token will be provided there. So just in summary, our Breed token, BREED, will be on ERC20. It will function as the main token for our BreederDAO project and its ecosystem. This will have multiple utilities to ensure that the ecosystem is running efficiently and the proper amount of value is captured for the many different types of token holders. And as part of the everyday utility, we will open a dedicated alpha channel on our Discord. This will be a token gated channel. Our team will be providing statistics of tokens and market liquidity across the P2E industry, as well as discuss current and future changes to our breeding programs and the game mechanics within the community, right? It's our vision that the members will be able to create their own breeding and crafting strategies, so that they can always submit a proposal for DAO members to vote on. So yeah, as I've mentioned, watch this space. Our white paper will be released within the next 48 hours.
Wow, that's so interesting, man. I'm really excited to read that.
It's gonna be a lengthy read, man, but definitely worth your time.
Yeah, I feel like I've when I first got into the space, I basically had like an infinite number of whitelists added to my reading tab. But now that I've gotten through them, I'll for sure have time for yours.
Make sure ours is the top priority, man.
Yeah, for sure, of course. It doesn't look like we have anyone ready to ask a question, so I'll jump in with another one. Another one. How many games like how many games are gonna have breeding? Like, is this a core game design feature or whatever for all play to earn or play and earn games?
We've recently met with a lot of game developers whose game mechanics aren't supporting breeding, right? So I still have yet to gather data on how much of the games would employ breeding strategies to be able to play the game. But let me get back to you on that, because recently we've been speaking with games who would employ, let's say, loot boxes or or simply cashing in your tokens to be able to play the game, right? So it's again, the P2E space is still at its infancy. So there's a lot of opportunity for innovation here, and definitely breeding is just one of them.
Okay,
Hey, Chad, if I might add to that point, right?
Yes,
what
please.
Jovan said, just breeding in general is not only the thing that we do. We also have vested interest in creating any kind of asset, whether it may be summoning, cloning, enhancing, basically whatever the need arises of like creating an asset out of another asset. We're actively exploring that. And to add to Jovan's point, we some of the new games coming around right now may not be focusing on breeding entirely, but then as long as they have that mechanic of just creating something from the assets that you currently have, we're actively exploring that as well. And for new games in the space, when these gaming companies, they're actually gamers centered first. As you know, the games currently out right now are more rudimentary, and they're actually pretty basic in terms of gameplay, right? In Axie and Pegaxie and all of those things. But then I'm actually pretty excited and bullish about the new games because they're actually hosted and created by AAA studios. So they're really focused on the gameplay mechanic of the game first. So the game will actually be play and earn, not just play to earn, right?
Yeah, I actually have a question on the play and earn, and play to earn. And this is maybe like more of a personal opinion for you both, but where do you think this space is heading in terms of moving into or moving out of play to earn, as you've seen like in Arena, Axie Infinity, Pegaxie, there's a lot of economic questions that arise. Where do you see blockchain gaming moving into?
Well, I personally think it's too early to tell, but definitely down the line, it will be a divide between players who are looking to earn, mainly to earn, and other players that are merely in it for the game, right? For the fun of it, whilst earning at the same time. So until we have the data, it may be too early to tell.
Yeah, data is changing every day. One thing that I was curious about with you guys and the Web3 gaming world or blockchain gaming is like in the traditional gaming world, like a third party platform that kind of is integrated into the game or sells game assets is usually kind of like a big no-no. But how is your third party platform and others being received by developers in the space right now?
First and foremost, Chad, we have yet to launch our third party platforms. It's still down the pipeline, as the team is still focused on our IDO, which is launching very, very soon. So watch out for that space. But during our initial conversations with some of our partners that are doing the same thing, it's gonna be a very collaborative environment, right? Because at the end of the day, marketplaces, at least in Web3, aren't exclusive. Anyone can basically list their assets with any platform available, right? So
yeah, that's what I think is so interesting. Like it really creates competition by opening up the ecosystem. And I think at first, like, well, that's for sure what scares like traditional game developers. And I think blockchain game developers are a different breed where they're willing to accept that competition and use it to make the game better or the ecosystem better for the player base, which is what gamers, at least I've always wanted, is just that ability to have that flexibility and competition in the market.
Yeah, definitely, Chad. I'm sure with all the game publishers out right now, your Epic Games, your Steam, your Valve, and all sorts.
Yes.
They're trying to monopolize the market, right, by
Yeah.
putting in as much cash as they can and trying to kill out the competition, basically. But in Web3, I guess everyone's just trying to make it in their own way, and I guess competition drives the final product forward, right? So it's a bit competitive and also collaborative at the same time, wherein people can share ideas as well, and hopefully the space gets a little bit more collaborative, as I just said.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to jump over to this quote on your website. You said, according to public data, guilds have only deployed around 60,000 scholarships. This represents less than 2% of Axie Infinity's nearly 3 million daily active users, underscoring the growth and potential of the supply of NFT gaming assets that can be unblocked for smaller guilds. I know those numbers are probably a little bit outdated, but I'm curious, what are those numbers now? Like, how many scholarships do you think guilds are responsible for, and how much percent of Axie Infinity's player base do you think that correlates to?
Well, as of our latest data, at least with the top guild partners that we have, they currently employ around a few 100,000, I think around 100,000 scholars in their org, right? But utilization rate for them is still quite low. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 11%, 11 to 12%, right? So this gives a lot of room for potential upside. To your selfish interest, this means that guilds could grow your scholar base, as there's a ton of retail player supply looking to professionalize their passion for gaming.
When you say 11% are utilized, what does that word utilized mean?
Meaning to say only 11% of the interested players are actually employed as scholars. The rest are probably on the wait list, right? For many different reasons, right? It could be that the lack of assets or the lack of skill set. Yeah.
Got it. Wow, that's crazy. And with all of your guild partners combined, how many scholars do you think just your network touches? Is it 100,000?
Oh yeah, definitely a north of 100,000. I mean, these figures they change every single day, but they've been in an upward trend since day one. It's crazy because we've been hitting triple-digit month-on-month growth since the birth of the industry, right? I think the average age of our guild partners is at around 9 months, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's still going parabolic as of date. So especially with the release of Axie V3, right? It's definitely gonna boost its momentum further.
Yeah, no kidding. That's gonna be an explosion of activity. I know that's how we're thinking about it. So I don't think you're gonna be sleeping when that comes out.
Definitely not.
Funny you mentioned, because the team is pretty lean right now. We've expanded from merely 25 now to around 40, and we are still continuing our team expansion, just so that we can cater to the expected volume come the bull run of P2E again. And also we've been noticing a lot of um, international meetings being held in different time zones, right? So we want to be able to cater to those instead of our partners having to adjust to our local GMT +8 time zone. So yeah, would be great for everyone.
40 people, that's awesome. I mean, that's a solid amount of people for sure that you guys are working with, and triple digit growth month over month. Wow, since it started, that's phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've
Super
actually
cool.
heard that, some of the Axie core team leaders are saying, like Origin's going to be a hell of a breeding event. So I can't imagine the sorts of work that you're going to be doing and the sorts of teams that you're going to be seeing with all the theory crafting that's going to be happening. It's going to be a really fun time for you all and for everybody in the space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've already loaded up on our Red Bulls, so it's gonna be an all-nighter for the team for sure.
Yeah, it's a good time over the last couple weeks to load up on SLP and the breeding. That's for sure. Last couple months, even. All right. Last question for you, Jovan. What are you most excited about in the future, or for the future of BreederDAO?
Well, I'm personally very excited to see how we can collaborate and co-create the future with you guys, with the whole community. Um, like what our COO Jeff has mentioned the other time that we met face to face. Every one of us is here for a reason. We want to create something foundational for an industry born out of nothing. It takes special people to do so. So I personally can't wait for guilds to scale, for retail players to become professional scholars, thereby maximizing their earning potentials, and even for games to figure out a healthy in-game economy to make it sustainable, to make it scalable, and really just for the overall maturation of the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're right about we need the right people in the space to be creative and bring this to the gaming community in the way that they've been hoping for a long time, I think. So, man, thank you so much, Jovan and Jace. You guys have been awesome. Really appreciate your time with us today, and we'll be collaborating. That's for sure.
Actually, Chad, I think we have one request.
Oh, we do. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Dragon, you're connecting. All right, you should be good to go. Oh. Seems like you couldn't. Cool. How you doing, Dragon?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
I can hear you.
Thank you. My question I have has to do with the actual assets that BreederDAO would be creating for the guilds and, quite frankly, for players later on when they do OTC. How does BreederDAO look to make sure that those assets do not be stagnant? Meaning, will they be working directly with the games to help identify new particular feature sets that that an asset can have that could be of interest to a guild that the game may not be considering at the moment? I'm just curious because once there's a big run on a particular asset or assets of a game, people get interested, they get the asset, and they move on. How do you keep that how do you keep it from being stagnant?
Okay, first and foremost, Dragon Hot Dog, thank you for being an active member of the community. We actually saw you yesterday in the AMA. You always provide great questions, and we're always happy to answer them. Here in BreederDAO, we make sure not to flood the market with oversupply. So although we keep our farms mostly operational every single time, we only start to breed when a bulk order arrives, right? For the rest of the assets that we produce that aren't ordered by guilds, we constantly distribute them to the asset marketplaces. So we still kind of provide liquidity in the marketplace. And to answer your other question, we do collaborate with games, but we are not yet in the level of co-creating specific assets with the game developers themselves. It's something that our business development team will definitely be working on with games in the future, but it's not yet operationalized right now.
Thank you for that. I have a follow-up, if I may. Is that okay?
Totally fine.
So
Sure.
thank you. My follow-up is in regards to being able to provide these assets to the retail investor. So an individual who's not part of a guild. Is there going to be when you get to that point, is there going to be a differentiation where a guild gets an incentive over a standalone retail investor who's trying to just simply purchase an asset OTC, and then you'll be advertising to that retail investor, hey, if you were to become a member of a particular guild, you'd be able to have access to X, Y, and Z versus just trying to purchase it on the open marketplace. Is that something that you all are considering when you get to that point? I find that very attractive to be able to open up this marketplace to anyone versus limiting it to just guilds, but conversely, making sure that the guilds have a differentiation over the open market so that they then can market out to those individuals to try to bring them over versus just them buying it out, themselves out in the marketplace.
Oh yeah. First and foremost, we believe in inclusive leadership. So, in as much as we don't want to discriminate between big guilds, micro guilds, and retail, at the end of the day, there may be differences in their volume requirements. Hence, price differences as well, right? In terms of our quotations. So, in order to cater to these many different types of customers and client base, we have a lot of planned roadmap to meet these requirements whilst being able to maintain that inclusiveness for everyone. So to answer your question, yes, we will be providing a marketplace for retail players and smaller guilds to be able to purchase our assets right off the bat. And we also, from time to time, facilitate deal flows, allowing for smaller retail players and micro guilds to participate in alpha and private sales that are otherwise not attainable to them due to the large ticket sizes. So we've done that. We've recently done that for Big Time, and I think Chad was also connected to them. So later on, we'll definitely be operationalize. My tongue's twisting right now. Later on, we'll be launching this to the market, right? Right now we're still in beta, so we'll see how this goes. But that's the end vision. That's definitely the end vision.
Great. Well, thanks for taking my questions, giving me the opportunity to ask. I'm very bullish on the project, and I wish you all success as you move forward. Thanks.
Thanks, Dragon.
Yeah, thanks, Dragon. That's great. You're able to ask questions and be that active community member. It's really, I think for both sides, it's really great to hear those questions. And, I know that they're really looking forward to hearing more about what their community wants and how they can improve in the future. Is there any other questions that anyone may have before we end off this Twitter space? Cool. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. It was a pleasure. It was really cool to hear a lot more about, how you're going to be innovating the space. And as both know, the blockchain gaming space is moving to a whole different level. And I know that you're going to be there supporting both guilds and retail investors and essentially just achieving what we wanted to achieve, which is giving players back the power in these games. It's exactly what you're doing. So I want to thank you for that, and pass it on to Chad for any outro that he has.
Any outro? I mean, these guys, BreederDAO has delivered so much value to guilds already, and it's just the start. I mean, I don't know how long have you guys been operational? Like a year or how long?
Yeah, I think close to just barely close to around 4 to 5 months. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been an explosive growth for us, and we're looking to take this even further.
That's incredible.
Exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that's incredible. Wow. Well, yeah, man, that was fantastic. I mean, we'll have to do another one of these in another 4 to 5 months, I think, and see where you're at then.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll probably launch our own, and with you guys as our guests instead. So watch out for that as well, Chad and Juan.
We'll do.
Yeah,
we'll do.
We're gonna keep
All
you
right,
on your word for that.
Thanks for waking up at 7:30 a.m. to talk to us. Much appreciated.
No worries. It's been a pleasure to be part of this Twitter space, and looking forward to our next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Later,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to all the listeners as well.